let's start from saying that for 3 straight years, Russia has been committing systematic, massive terror strikes against Ukraine's critical infrastructure, production facilities, and civilians using missiles, guided bombs, drones throughout Ukraine. And to meet these challenges in the financial sector, the NBU in fall 2022 established power banking, a unified network of bank branches. It has repeatedly proved its ability to operate and provide necessary services to customers during blackouts.
Oleksii, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. It's a real pleasure to meet you. For those who have not yet had the pleasure of meeting you, can you briefly tell us who you are and what you do?
I'm Oleksii Shaban. I'm Deputy Governor of National Bank of Ukraine, and I'm in charge of payment system, cash minting and circulation, IT, cybersecurity.
Okay. So let's get started. I would love to understand, how has the war affected Ukrainians' payment system, and what are the steps that the National Bank of Ukraine has taken to ensure the continuity of the services provided to bank sector citizens?
Let's start by saying that since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, we have done everything possible to ensure the reliable, stable functioning of the financial system and payment infrastructure. But in particular, we ensure that cashless payments continue to operate as usual without restrictions or interruptions. And when the full-scale war started, we didn't even consider introducing restrictions on card-based transactions in retail outlets. Moreover, we recommended our retailers, pharmacies, petrol stations, and so on, to rely on cashless payments, and we encouraged active use of cashless payments, temporarily reduced tariffs for participants in the national card payment system procedure, as well as interbank commission rates interchange, and ensure the smooth operation of NBU system of interbank electronic payment set, which accounts for 99% of interbank hryvnia settlements within the country and operates 24/7. And the leaders of the payment card markets, Visa and MasterCard, supported us by temporarily cutting the interchange rates to zero. This in turn allowed acquirers to lower acquiring fees for merchants. And in the earliest days of war, we were seeing an expected increase in demand for cash. Households were concerned about their ability to make payments going forward, and the National Bank of Ukraine supplied the banks with cash without limitations. And I must add that we were able to quickly, and we are able to quickly satisfy the heightened demand for cash. In addition, the cashback at checkout service provided by retail chains proved useful. It enabled clients to withdraw from their bank accounts up to 6,000 hryvnias in cash. It's near 150 years. To withdraw at chain stores, we asked banks and retail companies to implement this service, and they quickly did. And the cashback service resolved at least 3 problems at once. People got easy access to emergency cash. Retail chains reduced their cash collection volumes, and banks avoided exposing cash collectors to risk. Also, we allowed banks to process transactions in data centers abroad and use cloud services. It also helped the banks to mitigate risks to cashless settlement stability in case of prolonged hostilities. And after full-scale invasion began, banks were allowed to connect to NBU information network through cloud services. And in addition to the dedicated channels for connected to the NBU data networks, banks received the option to use backup channels through encrypted VPNs. During the war, banks and payment systems operated without a single day's pause. And maybe this probably amazing fact. So you can now during the war freely make payments using Apple Pay or Google Pay.
Can you comment or put a few words around the role that digital banking and mobile payments have played in maintaining stability in the Ukrainian financial ecosystem?
We understand the importance of implementing digital services in the financial system, and we are making every effort to do so. This is in particular one of the priorities of the strategy for the development of the financial sector of Ukraine and the NBU zone strategy. And according to both of these strategic documents, we focus our efforts on transforming the financial market into a digital fortress and ensuring the continuity of financial service. The latter is extremely relevant to Ukraine, whose vital infrastructure, including energy facilities, comes under constant missile and drone strikes. And we believe that even during blackouts and other wartime emergencies, payment infrastructure must work smoothly and provide citizens with access to accounts, payments, including through digital channels. So this is also one of the elements of financial inclusion, which is being built in Ukraine. Approximately 95 out of 100 card transactions are cashless. And in addition, more than 95% of cashless card payments are made contactless, including through smartphones, Apple Pay, Google Pay. All this, of course, encourages financial market participants to actually develop remote identification tools for their own products. According to bank survey data, about half of them opened accounts for citizens using remote identification methods proposed by the NBU. One such method of the NBU's bank ID system that, thanks to which 99% of citizens who have accounts in Ukrainian banks can transfer their identification data to more than 100 different service providers. Since the first day of martial law, the system has been providing Ukrainians with uninterrupted access to important public and financial services. Specifically, the bank ID system has been actively used to provide state public services, primarily through the mobile app, application DIA. The system has also been used for the remote opening of accounts, in particular by citizens who have no way on coming back to bank branches due being displaced or because of the bank's inability to provide on-site services in wartime.
Thank you for that, Oleksii. Now, I would also like to understand what measures has the MBU taken in order to protect the financial system from cyber attacks and from cybersecurity threats.
Yes, we consider proper cyber protection to be one of the important areas for ensuring the stable and continuous operation of the financial system. Therefore, we pay special attention to strengthening the NBUs and payment infrastructure's resilience against cyber attacks, as well as protecting citizens from cyber fraud. After all, hybrid war is being waged against us in addition to military aggression. And during 2022, 2024, we saw an increase in the number of cyber attacks targeting the banking systems, critical infrastructure, including the NBU and other banks. And we have also seen more cyber fraud and cyber crime incidents, and effective counteraction to cyber threats requires systematic efforts, especially from us as a regulator. And so to reinforce the cybersecurity of the financial sector, we constantly and systemically work together with market participants to ensure that they strictly comply with all of the regulators' cybersecurity requirements, adhere to technical recommendations, train their staff, and more. And the NBU Cybersecurity Center, together with the relevant departments of financial institutions, are taking all possible measures to respond to and counter possible cyber attacks. Cashless payments, mobile banking applications, and bank branches are all working smoothly as well.
You mentioned earlier that digital payments and yeah, digital banking and mobile payments had a significant role in ensuring financial inclusion. Can you put a few more words on what measures the MBU is taking to ensure that citizens in areas that have been more severely affected by the full-scale invasion continue to have access to financial services and yeah, to bank and payments?
Let's start from saying that for 3 straight years, Russia has been committing systematic, massive terror strikes against Ukraine's critical infrastructure, production facilities, and civilians using missiles, guided bombs, drones throughout Ukraine. So Russia's goal is to sow chaos and disrupt the smooth operation of critical infrastructure as well as banking system. And to meet these challenges in the financial sector, the NBU in fall 2022 established power banking, a unified network of bank branches. It has repeatedly proved its ability to operate and provide necessary services to customers during blackouts. Now, power banking spans about 2,400 branches of various banks across Ukraine that have backup power supply and backup communication channels, enhanced cash collection, additional staff, and a common system of business continuity protocols. The power banking network is a unique success story of the consolidation and partnership of Ukrainian banks, which choose to coordinate their efforts on a daily basis and share their experiences to ensure the stable, continuous operation of the banking system, prevent panic, and become a point of invincibility for millions of customers instead of competing. Yet there is more to power banking than the response to missile and drone strikes. We take a broader approach, given that blackouts could also be caused by cyber attacks or climate disasters. So power banking protocols have such scenarios covered, and it goes without saying that they can happen outside Ukraine too. At the same time, we constantly coordinate the work of banks in this area, maintain constant contact, and work to ensure that Ukrainians know about the network and understand which bank branches to contact during, for example, blackouts. So we super focused on ensuring that people have access to banking services even while under protracted power outages.
Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. Thank you for that, Oleksii. I would just like to conclude our interview, maybe asking you what role do you think that new types of money like cryptocurrencies or blockchain-enabled uh, currencies will have in ensuring the ongoing and the future resilience of the Ukrainian financial ecosystem?
We believe that new digital technologies, as digital currencies, have great potential to further transform the financial system. At the same time, we also recognize the importance of proper management of risks inherent in such innovations. And for this reason, we apply a risk-based approach to introduce innovations based on the in-depth analysis of possible risk and the assessment of their likely impact. And in our opinion, central bank digital money, CBDC, for example, can open up new opportunities, including like physical cash money. CBDC is a central bank's liability and means of payment denominated in the domestic currency, providing an additional instrument to offer monetary transmission, increasing financial inclusion, providing increasing access to financial services for the population without bank accounts, counteracting risks caused by the emergence and spread of private digital currencies, potential reduction of costs and improving access to domestic and cross-border payments, and digitalizing the economy and tokenization financial assets, including government assets. At the same time, CBDC infrastructure must be extremely secure, as any attacks could have serious consequences for the financial stability and credibility of the central bank's money.
Oleksii, well, I just want to thank you for your time and for your very insightful and very thoughtful answers. Um, I've now spoken to five or six different representatives from various parts of the financial ecosystem in Ukraine, and one theme that has been consistent in my conversations with them is that they're extremely grateful of the role that the MBU has taken. They've described it as saying, yeah, before the full-scale invasion, the MBU was a regulator, but in this situation, it's risen to become a leader that has rallied the entire ecosystem and has really taken us through these very difficult situations. So I think it's an admirable job that the MBU has done in ensuring the resilience of the system, and not only that, but getting the whole ecosystem to collaborate together with shared goals. So that's been really inspiring to listen to.
Thank you so much. We are trying to do our best, and we highly appreciate this evaluation of our work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oleksii. It's been a pleasure meeting you and hearing you.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you. My pleasure.